So we are almost exactly 2 weeks away from the official release of Mega Evolution, the start of the new era. In this video, I wanted to give a further look into Mega Evolution. Should you be investing into it right now? You guys have obviously seen me in my previous videos talking about this topic where I told you guys I'm not really buying this in the low 200s, but considering some of the facts here, maybe should you buy a little bit of something? Let's just look into it here in this video. So as you can see right now, lowest listed on TCG Player and the market price is around $285. At one point, this was a little bit above 300. So it's dipped down like $20, really nothing to be honest, but it's under 300 now. I guess that's something to say, but still, obviously for a base set, still a very expensive booster box, so it's going for $285 as of right now. If you look at sales volume the past few days, it slowed down a little bit, obviously from like this crazy period where there's hundreds of boxes selling. Ever since the prices went up closer to $300, we've been getting an average of anywhere from 30 to 50 boxes selling every single day, which is still very good for a box that's about $300 and it's a base set. So still, this box is pretty expensive right now at $285. Now, I did mention that since this is a base set, that you should maybe be more careful with buying at higher price points. I mentioned with Destined Rivals how buying at a higher price point, I was okay paying a little bit more than I would want to because of how great of a set it was probably going to be in the future, and maybe prices may never drop down more than they were at. So I bought a little bit of Destined Rivals, even though I wasn't happy paying in the low 200s for them. Now with Mega Evolution, I am being a lot more cautious. I am not really willing to pay anywhere near the price point this is at right now. That's just my opinion, but based on what we've seen with Destined Rivals, how crazily it's risen in value, and knowing that Mega Evolution is going to be like released in waves, possibly maybe is this a buy? Especially you can't get it cheaper for this, which I'm going to show you guys. Is it worth picking up maybe a few boxes? So as you can see right here, this is the deal I'm talking about. Game Nerds right now, you can buy a maximum of 2 units for $250. And at least for me, there's no taxes and it's free shipping because obviously you only need to spend $75, so it's free shipping. So you're paying $250 flat for a Mega Evolution booster box. It's the enhanced one. So you're saving about $35 per booster box. So you multiply by 2, that's $70. So you're saving about $70 if you're buying from Game Nerds, and Game Nerds, from my experience, has shipped my packages pretty well. And yeah, is it worth maybe just buying a couple boxes? I would say honestly, even though I said it before, for me, I'm still not buying this for myself because personally I just don't really care to buy this set. I'd rather skip it. That's just me though. But based on what we've seen with Destined Rivals, and now we know that there's a waived release. If you're not very confident buying at this price point at $285, which I personally am not very confident in, but is it worth maybe just buying a couple boxes, just like Destined Rivals, just in the case, which I think is a lower chance of happening than it was with Destined Rivals, but just in the case that possibly maybe it never really drops much more in price. Maybe this set skyrockets. Who knows what will happen? I'll show you guys some data possibly of maybe this will be a pretty expensive base set, but maybe it's worth buying just a couple of boxes, and you can buy them from Game Nerds for $250. I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I'm gonna say right now, I'm personally not buying it. Right? So then you might be like, why are you recommending it then? For me, like I've told you guys, for me, I'd rather just not buy it. But if you are maybe thinking about it, here's the best deal I've been able to find. And personally, if you were to ask me, if I buy this, is it an okay investment? Is it okay to buy price point? If you're buying a couple boxes, even if you have to pay a little bit more and just pay market price, it's not the worst thing ever. But if you can buy them for $250 and you don't have to pay taxes or shipping, that's not that bad. And you're just buying a couple boxes, like $500, whatever. It's not that bad. So I would say this might be a play. So be out there that just want to have something from the new era, just in case prices go ridiculous in the future, which could happen. I don't think it's a bad idea. Now, if you want to buy a case, there's a case right now on eBay from a reputable seller for $1670. If you do the math on that, it comes out to about just under $280. So if you want a case, there you go. This is the cheapest one I was able to find, and there's like a best offer if you want to maybe try to knock off a few dollars off of there. So if you want a case, you can get it for a little bit under market price if you prefer to do that. But Game Nerds definitely is the cheapest place I've been able to find. Now, the regular booster box, is already having a premium. And I do believe the enhanced boxes are a lot more prevalent than the regular booster box. And we're sort of seeing that even with just the listings here. I believe this is sort of like the Journey Together situation, except for Mega Evolution, they are printing, I'm pretty sure, cases or just normal booster boxes. And they're not just in pre-release kits. I believe that to be the case. And you can see that sort of being already shown that there is less of these because the prices are $40 more and there's less supply on the market compared to the enhanced boxes. So I do believe these are not going to be as I guess prevalent as the enhanced box. Therefore, it's already showing a premium. Is it worth buying a premium at this price point? Personally, I don't really think so. But you know, what we've seen with Dream Together, there's about only a $20 difference, but you know, we'll see with Mega Evolution, maybe it's a bigger difference, but you are paying a little bit, quite a bit more for the normal box if you want to make that play of, okay, this is going to be more scarce, and therefore I'm going to invest into it. Personally, with me, I don't really care playing that game, but you're paying a bit more for the normal booster box. Now, this is something I didn't show you guys previously, that the Japanese sets, because Mega Evolution is comprised of, I believe, Mega Brave, Mega Symphonia, maybe some of these EX decks. It's not really worth noting too much of these, but here's the main thing I wanted to show you guys is that on the Japanese side, and for the most part, Japanese cards tend to be cheaper than English cards. That usually is the case, and if we're basing that logic that possibly, you know, for the most part, Japanese cards are cheaper than English cards, and we're looking at these prices for the Japanese cards, I mean, this set could be pretty expensive. Now, what we've seen previously, I've talked about how base sets usually have easier pull rates. Maybe that'll make card price a lot cheaper, therefore maybe seal will go down. But based on what I'm looking at here on the Japanese side, the prices are pretty high up there, and this is not like a brand new set. It was released a little bit over a month ago. So it's not like this set just came out a week ago. These are prices like a month later. So I mean, look at the prices, you do the math, it's about a $2,000 set total on the Japanese side if you combine these two sets. Like I said, usually on the English side, cards are more expensive. So if you take this into consideration, is it possible that Mega Evolution might be pretty expensive? It's possible, but we obviously don't know how the English pull rates are really going to be. But it is kind of crazy to see how expensive these two sets are. Now, if you actually look at why are these two sets so expensive, it really shows. Guys, this new rarity, the MAR, whatever the Mega Ultra, I think MUR, Mega Ultra Rare, I believe it's called. MUR, Mega Ultra Rare. Guys, this card's $460. Now, I don't know how sustainable this price is. I don't know all of that. It also depends on the English side with all the pull rates. But guys, $460 for this is pretty crazy. For the Gardevoir Gold and for Lucario, $420. And even the other cards you can see are pretty expensive. The Gardevoir here is pretty expensive, and some of these other cards too. But this new rarity, depending on how hard they really make this, to pull, these sets or this set, Mega Evolution, might be, and probably will be, I don't think it's that crazy to say this, the most expensive modern base set we've ever had. Because this new rarity, seemingly them adding this Mega Ultra Rare and there being only 2 cards and also their gold, I'm assuming it's going to be hard to pull. I'm assuming that it's going to be harder to pull than an SIR. So based on that, this might be a pretty expensive base set just based on these 2 cards and how expensive they are on the Japanese side. We'll see what the carryover is on the English side, if they're more expensive, if they're less expensive. Not really sure, but yeah, just looking at this, they're probably going to be pretty expensive somewhat, obviously probably in the hundreds of dollars. Therefore, Mega Evolution, like I said, I'm not really advocating to buy a large amount of this product, this set, at the current price it's at, but just like Destined Rivals, is it okay? Would it be maybe prudent to buy a little bit of something? I think it's not a bad idea. But like I said, for me, I'm just totally skipping this set, and I'm probably just going to invest, if anything, into Phantasmal Flames. That's my play. I'm not saying that, it might be counterintuitive, but if you want to buy this set, if you're buying a couple boxes in the mid $200 range, like right here I'm showing you, I don't think it's a bad play. It's a few $100s. Who really cares? Worst case scenario, they maybe stay at the price you bought at. Maybe they dip a little bit, but you didn't lose much if you only bought a few booster boxes. And I'm showing you guys here Game Nerds, which at least for me, free shipping, no taxes. It's $250 flat. you're not coming out that bad buying a few boxes. And if you want to just have something for the new set, I don't think it's a bad play. So just wanted to talk about this and give you guys some insights on Mega Evolution. We're 2 weeks away. If there's anything that goes on before release, I'll definitely update you guys on it. But just wanted to revisit this because I noticed how expensive the Japanese sets were, and maybe we'll see this being a pretty expensive base set. But that's all I want to show you guys. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the next one.